Kevin Costner is not happy with Yellowstone ending after releasing only 5 seasons, and he's not alone in his sentiments. As a longtime fan of the show, I feel like he has every right to be upset with the current situation of the series, as the final episodes are already a disappointment, even though there are still months till their release. Can Costner still save Yellowstone from ruining its own legacy though? Well, his recent remarks suggest that there is still hope for a perfect ending to the perfect show. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and see what Costner has to say about all this Yellowstone drama. Speaking to ET recently, Costner stated that despite everything that has happened between him and Taylor Sheridan, he still cares about Yellowstone a lot and would like to see the show thriving even at the very end. When he was asked if he was going to star in the final episodes of the series, Costner gave a political answer that can be interpreted in multiple ways. "I'd like to be able to do it, but we haven't been able to. I thought I was going to make 7 seasons, but right now we're at 5. So how it works out, I hope it does, but they've got a lot of different shows going on. Maybe it will. Maybe this will circle back to me. If it does and I feel really comfortable with it, I'd love to do it," the legendary actor said. Well, my interpretation of his words is that he's still expecting an invitation or an offer from Sheridan to star in the final part of Yellowstone. We know that behind the scenes, Costner made it clear to the Yellowstone producers that he would be willing to participate in Yellowstone's last season. But we also know that Sheridan was not a fan of the idea. Nevertheless, it seems like Sheridan did not give an official response to Costner on the issue. Otherwise, why would Costner still speak on the issue in such a positive manner, welcoming all the possibilities? I believe this was an open invitation of Costner to Sheridan, telling him that if he would step back and want Costner back, Costner is on board. I feel like this is the best scenario for us, the Yellowstone fans. At least we know at this point that Costner did his best to give the show the proper ending it deserves. Now, the ball is in Sheridan's court. If you would welcome Costner back, we might get a legendary ending for Yellowstone that we all crave. Apparently, Costner also has an ending for his on-screen character John Dutton in mind. Well, you know, he needs to be proactive in what happens, and I've kind of had my own fantasy of how it might be, but that's Taylor's thing. I said as much to him a while back. I had thoughts on how it could happen, but we just have to see, he said. So the rumors are true. Costner really did try to influence Sheridan's mind over the trajectory of his character. And it seems like he's still behind his words, expecting and or hoping for Sheridan to follow his guidance. Well, we all know very well that Sheridan hates when people give their input on his shows. He likes to work alone, and that's it. Thus, I doubt that he would write an ending to John Dutton that aligns with Costner's vision. Nevertheless, never say never, right? Now, let's try to answer the biggest question of all. Will Costner return to Yellowstone or not? Well, according to Matt Bellany from Puck, he most definitely won't. You might remember Bellany from last year when he announced that Costner was officially leaving Yellowstone. At the time, everyone approached his news with caution, as it seemed unlikely for Costner to leave the show at its peak. But the time proved Bellany right and showed us all that he truly had reliable sources close to Costner. Well, recently, Bellany released yet another piece of news expressing that Costner has changed his mind on the issue and plans to return to the series for at least a cameo and possibly more. That being said, Bellany also expressed that the producers were not a fan of the idea. Besides, the scripts for the final season are already completed without the presence of Costner and his Yellowstone character John Dutton. In other words, despite Costner's efforts to join Yellowstone for one last time, Sheridan and the rest of the producers of the series have already moved on. Personally, I still feel like they will surprise us with a Costner cameo, since I know for sure that there's nothing impossible when it comes to Yellowstone. But what do you think? Do you think Costner will star in the Yellowstone's finale? Do you think Sheridan is doing the right thing by refusing Costner's demands to return? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you came this far into the video, leave me a horse emoji in reference to our love for westerns. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.